Most people will work their entire life and still stay broke. Not because they're lazy, not because they're stupid, but because they keep doing one thing rich people avoid at all costs. And the scary part? Most people don't even realize they're doing it. Every morning they wake up tired. They rush to a job they hate, spend money trying to feel better, then repeat the same cycle again tomorrow, year after year, until one day they wake up older, exhausted, and wondering where all their time went. Meanwhile, somebody else started with less than them, less money, less connections, less opportunities, but somehow became financially free. Why? Because they understood something early that most people ignore until it's too late. And today, you're going to understand it too. Because one mindset shift can completely change your future. Not next year, not someday, starting now. But first, you need to realize something uncomfortable. The system was never designed to make you rich. Think about it. School teaches you how to obey deadlines, how to follow instructions, how to memorize information. But almost nobody teaches you how money actually works. Nobody teaches investing. Nobody teaches ownership. Nobody teaches how wealthy people think. Instead, most people are taught to survive, not to build wealth. And that's why millions of people spend their whole lives running on a treadmill they never escape from. Wake up, work, pay bills, sleep, repeat. And somehow society acts like that's normal. But deep down, you know you were meant for more. You know there has to be another way. And there is. But only if you stop doing the habits that keep people financially trapped. And trust me, some of these habits are so common that people defend them without realizing they're destroying their future. So watch this carefully until the end. Because the final point is the reason most people never become wealthy no matter how hard they work. And if you truly want financial freedom, subscribe now and join people who are trying to level up their mindset, income, and life. Because this channel isn't about fantasy. It's about escaping average. Now let's talk about the first thing keeping people broke. Trying to look rich instead of becoming rich. This destroys more futures than people realize. You see it everywhere. People buying things they cannot afford to impress people who honestly don't care. Expensive phones, designer clothes, luxury cars, jewelry, fake lifestyles on social media, all financed by debt and stress. And the craziest part? Some people spend more time looking successful than actually becoming successful. Let that sink in. There are people wearing their entire savings account on their wrist. People taking pictures beside rented cars. People going broke, trying to appear wealthy online. Why? Because society trained people to chase status instead of freedom. But rich people understand something different. Real wealth is quiet. Think about some billionaires. Simple clothes. Simple lifestyle. No need to prove anything. Because when you're truly wealthy, you don't need validation. Poor people often buy liabilities to feel rich. Rich people buy assets to become richer. Huge difference. One buys things that take money away every month. The other buys things that generate more money. That single shift changes everything. And here's the dangerous part. Social media makes this problem worse every single day. You scroll for 5 minutes, and suddenly your life feels small. Someone is on vacation. Someone bought a new car. Someone is wearing expensive clothes. Someone is living their best life. But what you don't see is the debt, the stress, the pressure, the insecurity hiding behind the camera. Never compare your real life to someone else's highlight reel. Because many people are financially drowning while pretending to swim. And if you keep spending money emotionally, you'll stay trapped emotionally too. Here's a question. Would you rather look rich for 5 years or actually be rich for the rest of your life? Most people choose the first one without realizing it. That's why they stay stuck. And speaking of being stuck, let's talk about another dangerous habit. Trading all your time for money. This one is huge. Because most people believe hard work alone creates wealth. But if money stops every time you stop working, you don't own your life. You rent it out. That's the truth nobody likes hearing. Now, don't misunderstand this. Working hard matters. But wealthy people think differently about time. They know time is limited. And because time is limited, they focus on building systems, businesses, investments, assets, things that continue producing income even when they sleep. Meanwhile, most people only focus on active income, meaning if they stop working, everything collapses. That's financial vulnerability. Imagine this. You work for 30 years, every single day, then suddenly you can't work anymore. What happens next? That question scares people, because deep down, most people know they are one emergency away from financial pressure. And that's why wealthy people become obsessed with ownership. Ownership changes the game. Owning investments, owning businesses, owning skills, owning digital products, owning assets. Because ownership creates leverage, and leverage creates freedom. Think about it. A regular worker gets paid once for their effort, but a business owner can get paid thousands of times from one system. That's why the rich get richer. Not because they work harder physically, but because they structure their life differently. Here's the scary truth. Many people are exhausted not because life is hard, but because they build a life with no leverage. And the moment they stop moving, everything stops too. Now ask yourself honestly, if you stopped working today, how long would your money survive? A week? A month? A year? That answer tells you everything. And this next part might be uncomfortable, because even when opportunities appear, most people still stay stuck. Why? Because their mindset quietly sabotages them. This is where everything changes. Your beliefs about money control your financial future more than you think. If deep down you believe rich people are greedy, your brain will unconsciously reject wealth. If you believe success is impossible for people like you, you'll stop trying before you even start. If you believe you're unlucky, you'll notice problems more than opportunities. Your mind becomes your financial ceiling, and most people never realize it. They say things like, money changes people. Rich people are evil. I'm just not good with money. Wealth isn't for people like us. Those words sound harmless, but repeated long enough, they become identity, and identity shapes behavior. You cannot build a wealthy life with a poverty mindset. Impossible, because your actions always follow your beliefs. Always. And your environment matters too. If everyone around you complains constantly, you'll normalize complaining. If everyone around you fears risk, you'll fear growth. If everyone around you settles for average, average starts feeling acceptable. That's why protecting your mind is critical. Your brain is like soil. Whatever you plant repeatedly grows. Negativity grows. Fear grows. Confidence grows. Discipline grows. Wealthy thinking grows too. And here's something powerful. Most successful people changed mentally before they changed financially. The money came later. First came the mindset, the belief, the vision, the standards. Because once your thinking changes, your actions start changing automatically. You stop wasting money. You start valuing time. You start learning skills. You start thinking long-term. And slowly, your entire life changes direction. But there's another trap destroying people daily. Distractions. This generation is drowning in distraction. Endless scrolling, notifications, entertainment overload, constant noise. And people don't realize how dangerous this is, because distraction feels harmless. But distraction slowly steals your future. 1 hour wasted daily doesn't seem serious, until it becomes years. Imagine investing 2 focused hours into learning high-income skills every day for 5 years. Your entire life could transform, but most people never do it. Because comfort is addictive. Entertainment is addictive. Distraction is addictive. And companies are fighting aggressively for your attention every second. Your focus became a business. Think about that. Apps are designed to keep you scrolling. Videos are designed to keep you watching. Notifications are designed to pull you back. Why? Because attention is profitable. And while you're distracted, someone else is building, learning, improving, growing. That's why focused people move ahead so fast. Focus is rare now. Very rare. And rare skills create valuable people. Here's a painful truth. Most people don't actually lack potential. They lack sustained focus. That's it. Too many people quit before momentum even begins. Too many people keep restarting life every Monday. Too many people consume motivation but avoid discipline. Which brings us to another thing keeping people broke. waiting to feel motivated. Motivation is unreliable. Some days you'll feel inspired. Other days you'll feel tired, frustrated, doubtful, lazy, and if your success depends on emotions, you'll never stay consistent long enough to win. Discipline matters more than motivation. Every successful person understands this. The gym, business, investing, content creation, self-improvement. None of it feels exciting every day. That's normal. But the people who change their lives keep going anyway. That's the difference. Most people stop when things become boring. Successful people master boring consistency. That's why average people chase excitement, while disciplined people quietly build empires. Your future is built on ordinary days. The days you don't feel like trying. The days nobody is clapping for you. The days progress feels invisible. Those days matter most, because consistency compounds. Tiny actions repeated daily become massive results later. That's how wealth works. That's how success works. That's how transformation works. And sadly, most people quit right before things start working. Imagine planting seeds for years, then digging them up every week because you don't see growth yet. That's what people do with goals. They quit too early, change direction too fast, lose patience too quickly. And another reason this happens is because they listen to the wrong people. This part is important. Stop taking life advice from people whose lives you don't want. Seriously, be careful who shapes your thinking, because your environment influences you more than you realize. If 5 broke people sit together every day, soon there will probably be 6. Not because they're bad people, but because standards spread. Mindset spread. Excuses spread too. Notice something interesting. People who never built wealth often have the strongest opinions about money. They'll tell you investing is risky. Business is impossible. Dreams are unrealistic. Success is luck. Meanwhile, the people actually succeeding are busy working quietly. That's why you must protect your vision early. Not everyone deserves access to your goals. Some people project their fears onto you, their limitations onto you, their insecurities onto you. And if you absorb enough negativity, you start shrinking your own dreams. Be around people who challenge you to grow, people who inspire action, people who think bigger, people who make success feel normal. Because eventually, you become what you constantly surround yourself with. And now we arrive at one of the biggest reasons people stay financially trapped. Fear. Specifically, fear of risk. Most people play life too safe. And ironically, that becomes the riskiest decision of all, because staying comfortable can quietly destroy your potential. Think about how many people stay in situations they hate for years. Jobs they hate, lives they hate, routines they hate, all because uncertainty scares them. But growth always lives on the other side of discomfort. Always. Every successful person had moments where they looked uncertain, moments where people doubted them, moments where failure seemed possible. But they moved anyway. That's courage. Courage isn't absence of fear. It's movement despite fear. And no, this doesn't mean making reckless decisions. It means taking calculated risks, learning new skills, starting the business, posting the content, applying for opportunities, investing wisely, trying again after failure. Because one attempt can change your entire life. One decision, one connection, one opportunity. Everything can shift, but not if fear controls you. Here's a powerful question. What hurts more? Failing once? Or spending your entire life wondering what could have happened if you tried? Most people fear temporary embarrassment more than permanent regret. That's dangerous, because regret becomes heavy over time. Years pass quickly, very quickly. One day becomes 1 week. 1 week becomes 1 year. And suddenly people wake up wondering where life went. That's why action matters now, not someday. Now. And finally, here's the biggest reason most people never become rich. They don't stay consistent long enough. That's it. People underestimate how long success takes. Social media destroyed patience. Everyone wants instant results. Instant money. Instant transformation. Instant success. But real wealth usually grows slowly before it grows fast. Like bamboo. For years, bamboo appears invisible underground. Nothing seems to happen. Then suddenly, It explodes upward rapidly. But the growth was happening the entire time beneath the surface. Success works the same way. At first, nobody notices your effort. Nobody sees your discipline. Nobody sees your sacrifices. It feels invisible. But slowly, skills improve. Confidence improves. Knowledge improves. Opportunities improve. Momentum builds. And one day, people call you lucky. They never saw the years behind the scenes. That's why persistence matters so much. The top 1% aren't always the smartest. They simply stayed consistent longer than everybody else. While others quit, they kept learning. While others complained, they adapted. While others got distracted, they focused. And eventually consistency separated them from the crowd. That's the game. Not perfection. Not genius. Consistency. Most people overestimate what they can do in 1 month and underestimate what they can do in 5 years. 5 years of focus can completely transform your bloodline. Think about that. Your future family could benefit from decisions you make today. One disciplined year could change everything. One committed season. One focused chapter. That's all it takes sometimes. And the beautiful part? You don't need to become somebody else. You just need to stop doing the habits, destroying your potential. Stop chasing appearances. Stop wasting time. Stop feeding negative thinking. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop fearing discomfort. Stop listening to small-minded people. Stop quitting too early. Because the moment your habits change, your future changes too. And remember this, the life you want is possible, but average habits create average results. If you keep doing what most people do, you'll probably live like most people live. And deep down, you know you want more than that. So start now, even if it's small, even if nobody believes in you yet, even if progress feels slow. Keep going, because years from now, you'll either thank yourself for starting or regret staying comfortable. The choice is yours. If this video opened your eyes even a little, subscribe now for more videos about wealth, mindset, discipline, and success. And comment below, what's one habit you're stopping today? Your future starts with that decision.